y'all, Ham here. So exhausted. Oh my god, I can't. I don't even know why. Hurt my shoulder too. I don't know if it was yoga or jujitsu, but I always tend to get um, like I feel like I might have pulled a muscle or pulled something back in the day from jujitsu when I first started, and now it's like comes back every once in a while. And in yoga, I just learned how to like knees, chest, chin instead of like chaturanga. So I've been doing a lot of that like push-up motion. So plus with jujitsu, I'm sure it irritated it. Anyway, I don't want to make a super. Oh, I'm gonna be shaking this camera. Sorry, guys. I have a little bit of makeup on. Close, low battery. I went to my kids' school. So okay, so gonna make a quick video. Just I guess PSA, maybe like some advice and like how I dealt with a situation that happened today. Excuse me. Oh, so full. I didn't even eat that much, but I've been like eating less, smaller portions. So like when I do eat something a little bit bigger or heartier, I'm like, so yeah. So today, okay, so today's Valentine's Day. Mwah, much love. So I went to a party at my kid's school. I'm one of those moms that likes to go to all the parties, right? Just because it's fun. I like to observe what goes on in the classroom, but also just to spend time with my kid. I like doing stuff like that, and I'm home, so like why not? So my kid sits at a table where they just like they sit at a table, like one of the smaller tables. There's like 3 tables. Two of the tables have a lot of kids, and some of the leftover kids sit at this like smaller table, right? So my kid's at the smaller table, and they rotate, so they're not always sitting in the same spot. But right now, my kid's at the smaller table with maybe like 4 kids, right? So they were having some like Valentine's Day activities, and there were like 3 rotating stations. One was like bingo, one was snack time, and during snack you could sit there and do like a Valentine word search. The other one was like painting these little airplanes. It was really cute. So my kid starts off at the table with snack. So the teacher hands out these word search puzzles. My kid just quietly like trying their best to do it, not getting discouraged, kind of doing their work. And, not worrying about the people around them, not worrying about who's doing what. And it's so funny because the way you raise your kid, it shows out in the world. It shows what kind of language you talk in your house. It shows what kind of things you expose your kids to. And not to blame a child. They're obviously learning from their environment. Everybody's different. And just disclaimer, in no way am I putting another child down. Am I trying to badmouth this child? Like, clearly just a baby, like, doesn't know. None of that. It could just be the environment making them feel this way, wanting attention, whatever. Either way, I'm still going to mention it just to let you know how I address the situation. So they're doing this word search, and my kid's kind of just doing. My kid's not like doing really good, I'm kind of helping them, but they don't care. They're very slow and steady wins the race, right? Wow, my throat's really like. Hold on, I'm so sorry. Gosh, golly gee. So the child next to my child, this little boy, he's just going off. First of all, don't look at my paper, hiding like the one word that they found. Kids are just crazy like that. Don't look. Meanwhile, my kids could care less what's going on around them. Like, not looking, not caring, not even listening to what this kid's saying. They're like, okay. Like, all kids are kind of like in their own world, right? And so it was funny. So kept doing that. And starts screaming things. Now, these kids are little, very little. And this kid's screaming things like, God damn it, this stupid word search. I can't find these stupid words. I hate my stupid freaking life. I can't figure this out, stupid freaking words. Like, really aggressive, really, like, nasty. And this is the child that sits next to my child, okay? Like, and their mother's usually at the party, but also usually, like, gossiping in the corner, like, not paying attention. And you could tell this kid kind of, I think this kid's kind of like a crier, probably gets a little spoiled at home. Not judging, but it's kind of been what's been rumored around, kind of what I've observed. No shame, no judgment, but just to paint a picture, right? It's just an example I'm giving. Screaming these obscenities. Like, okay. So now, a couple of times I said, then they were saying something to my kid like, I saw you looking at my paper, you're cheating. And I was like, hey, we're working together, it's fine, don't worry about it. I said 2 times I addressed it because it was getting like a little out of hand. And then so the boy couldn't find the word chocolate in the crossword. So I helped my daughter find chocolate. So as soon as she finds it, he stands up and he's like, trying to like look in the corner of his eye, like, and I'm like, so I immediately addressed it. I go, oh, so you're gonna look at her paper, but you won't let her look at yours? So who's the one, like, this isn't the way I said it, I'm just kind of explaining basically what was being said, like, so you're gonna look at her paper and cheat, but she can't look at your paper, but you're the one doing the cheating, right? So kid immediately like ignores it, right? Never said anything nasty to me. So they keep saying like really like almost like curse words. Like I kind of heard something under his breath. I wasn't sure, but like really being aggressive. And me and this other mom were like, gosh, right? Just letting it go. And then one time I said like, hey, that's not like, let's not talk like that, you know, or something along those lines, you know, not being mean, but just kind of like, all right, like take a deep breath. So after that, I realized, you know what? It seems like this is for attention. Kids are a product of their environment. It's not this little boy's fault. Who knows where he's getting his words from? Like, I even bought my nephew a birthday present. He's 3. And the gift said 3 and up. It was a Batman, and it came with these 2 gigantic swords. I'm like, why is it okay for a 3-year-old to have a toy with swords? Like, I just don't get it. These boys' toys, boys' stuff. It's like too violent. Jeez, is that how it was when we were little? I think so, but still, like, now that I'm a parent, like, I'm not approving of all this. Excuse me with this rocking the camera. Okay, so just going on and on. So I start to say, like, listen, why don't you see? Look, we'll show you where we found that word. Wow, aren't you proud of yourself? Look how many words you found. Just because you didn't find all of them. The kid starts to calm down. They start working together. And everything was jolly. So I started becoming therapeutic with it. Because I had to, like, feel this kid out. Like, is this kid going to, like, bite me? Like, what's going to happen? And I'm pretty sure on the rug, after I read my story, he was, like, whispering to his friend, like, pointing at me. And I was like, like, what are you doing? So clearly just how this child might be, right? So I started being a little bit more therapeutic, and I'm like, listen, wow, look at how awesome you're doing. You did a really good job. You should be proud of the work you did. And look, the words that you're not finding, you guys can find together. And then all of a sudden they're working together and everything's jolly and great. And the whole time now I'm being very therapeutic with all the kids. Like, this is how I would do a word search. And then I'm kind of like slowly like helping them find the first couple words just to like get them going, like almost like cheating, like when I see like a word, like slowly dragging my finger across it so they see like all the letters and like, oh look, I found it. So they feel proud of themselves because it was hard and they were little, so like it was like a big word search, like, oh my god, like I can't believe they're even like trying to do this. Like a few of the kids were like really good at it, but like most of them were like not, and you had to like get them started. But it kind of like opened my eyes to the world of judgment and the world of like being a parent. And you know, maybe the parents aren't doing anything wrong at home. Maybe this kid just has some anger issues, or just has some, you never know what's going on with families, what's going on with children. And you know, and what's just funny for me is I was never mad at the kid. I was just like, I kind of felt bad, but I like didn't want it to affect my kid, and my kid was kind of just like whatever. And then when we got home, something happened where my kid brought this person up, and I was like, well, so and so was being, you know, really mean today. And they were like, he's just a kid. You're not his mom. You don't have to talk to. Like, my kid's so mature and like oddly like grown up. It's pretty funny. But I was like, you know, you're right. And honestly, I think I addressed it pretty well. Yeah, no, it's not my kid. And I didn't know if I should get the teacher, or like if she was aware of this. But I did end up writing her a note just to like tip her off, like, listen, this is kind of what this kid was saying. Like, just, you know, it was a little bit alarming, some of the things that were coming out of his mouth. I hope that's not like a regular occurrence. Maybe it was just because there were other adults in the room trying to like get attention. You never know. But you could tell like once I was addressing it, they weren't like talking back to me or anything. So who knows? Maybe it was just like an attention thing. But still, it was like, I hate my stupid freaking life. Like, whoa, you're too young to be saying that, even as a joke, you know. But so my suggestion to you as parents is, if you're in a situation where there's a kid that's not yours, but, you know, needs a teaching moment, find the most therapeutic way, because it's not your kid and you don't know their situation, or if they have an IPE, what's it called? Like if they have like a behavioral plan in school. Alert the teacher in some way. Write a note, something, if you don't feel comfortable saying it right then and there, making a scene. But, you know, try to change the subject, turn it onto a positive note. So any kid that felt like they couldn't figure it out, I was like, listen, anytime they would get a word, I'd be like, you should be so proud of yourself. Look at the work you're doing. That's so awesome, you know. And so this kid, you could tell, like, maybe, you never know. It was like kind of the thing, like maybe at home when they play games, probably like always has to win, you know, how sometimes kids are like that. Like they're always there, okay, you won, you know, over every game. And it's just like I said, a product of an environment, or just like what you're being exposed to, like, you never know. So just when you're given those situations, take those teaching moments. This is what I said, like in my last video, like, why are parents so savage? Like, when there's a group of kids, you're on a school trip or something, just, you don't have to like fight your kids' battles, but like be there in the background for when there can be a teaching moment, especially for kids like that who have a little bit more maybe anger built up, or a little bit more aggression. Like, show them that the positive way is the good way, you know, like the happy, like you can still have a good time and still get really good attention, you know, but positive attention. Like, it doesn't have to be for negative things, you know. So you never know. Maybe this kid's just a handful, or who knows, God bless him, you know. I'm sure he's not a bad kid. I'm sure he just, you know, is kind of figuring himself out. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This camera's been shaking the whole video. But I really do suggest to you, like, don't be chit-chat in the corner. Try to take those teaching moments when you can. And even if you don't want to bring up, like, even so, my kid was getting like a little upset at the end, like, oh, the party's over. And one of the other moms who happens to know my kid for a while, they used to be in soccer when they were like really little, like 3 years old or whatever, really sweet lady, I think she used to be a teacher or whatever, calls my kid over and is like, hey, can you show me where the stool goes? Like, giving them another job to make them feel like there was still more to do, and like, you know, which I thought was just like so sweet and like so awesome, and exactly what I think a lot of parents are lacking these days. Like, they just so, and I get it, I feel like parents are so overworked at jobs, everyone has like a long day, and we don't get to, you know, kind of take a deep breath and spend that time with our kids, and you know, focus on that kind of stuff. And it's really important to grow like a really happy, healthy, you know, future and environment for our kids, and just to like be a good role model, you know what I mean? So when you see kids having a hard time, try to have those good teaching moments, and do the best you can. Don't trip any kids, or, you know, push anybody down, but running out of time. Love you guys. Bye. Be good. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you.